Hi guys, I'm Sparkmaster Neon, and today I'm joined with my Aunt Jay, and we're going to talk to you about not selling yourself short. So to me, not selling yourself short is about not holding yourself back. When you hit a wall or an obstacle, or when your negativity is getting you down, it's about pushing through that and accomplishing what you want to accomplish. It's about always making sure that you are good, and having others come second to that fact. Because you can do anything you put your mind to, and only you can hold yourself back. So, Aunt Jay, what does that mean? What does not selling yourself short mean to you?
That means you don't underestimate a difficult problem going into it, whether you can resolve it to a positive end. Sometimes it will happen, sometimes it won't. But you can't have the fear of going in that it's something, a problem bigger than you can handle. There are many sources of help, information. Take a step back and say, I can figure this out, I can get the background I need, I can get the information, and go back to it. Don't give up the first time in. If it's way more than you think you can handle, you're in over your head, take a second look at it before you consult with outside people, with financial people, with attorneys. There are many things that you can figure out and you can do on your own. It's just give yourself the confidence that you can research it, you can understand it, and if there are questions that you do need more help on, don't be afraid to ask. There are so many good people out there who will come to your rescue and offer more than you ever thought that they would be willing to do to help you out of a difficult situation. And I have found that out in so many ways in handling so many problems that I'm not financially able to handle that. I can't figure it out. I'll need to refer that to an expert. Well, I've come to find out that I may be the best expert there is to solve my own personal problems rather than referring it out to someone else. So with a little research and a little more confidence in what I can handle, I have come to find out that I have resolved probably 75% of things that I thought, this is out of my bailiwick, this is off of my table because I'm in over my head. You're never in over your head if you just take the time to ask the questions, have confidence in other people who can give you the guidance. Sit back, take all this free information, and you will figure it out.
Yeah, as long as you apply yourself and go through,
Yes, and many people hesitate, to do that, to apply your own reasoning, your own knowledge. A lot of what you don't know you have until you have to call on it in an emergency situation and say, oh, well, yeah, I can handle that. Just let me think about it. I read about that, or I can read about that. And you find a way through to accept that you're not in over your head. That's the biggest problem initially, is you just think you can't handle a situation. But give yourself a break. There are so many things out there that you can figure out on your own if you just sit back and concentrate and say, I can do this. It will be done.
Yeah, it's like what I say live a phoenix tale, so when you fall, you always rise back up. You figure it out. You figure out how to overcome it, and you work towards that until you finally have. You soared and rose like a phoenix. And all you can do is try. Try your best to do anything you put your mind to.
Yes, and sometimes you reach a point where you say, okay, I've taken this as far as I can, so I'll have to lay this aside and just admit I need some help. And that's okay. As long as you feel that you've done your very best and that's all you can do, then you reach out to someone and accept their help.
Yeah. So next I want to talk about sometimes when you are trying to do something, you'll hit a wall. And that wall feels like something you cannot overcome. It's right in your way and you just want to give up. giving up is selling yourself short. It's about pushing through that wall and overcoming it. Like for me, for example, when I was in high school, my gallbladder went bad, and for 2 years they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They didn't know. First they told me they did all these tests, told me I was making it up, and then I was crazy, and eventually I started believing them. And honestly, I sunk into the depths of my depression, and I felt like I couldn't overcome this wall. But eventually I decided, you know what? I can't let it get me down. I have to fight back, I have to overcome it, and I have to have the strength to, even though I'm sick, fight through it. And eventually, I mean, I got lucky. They found out it was my gallbladder. They took it out, and then I got fit, and I started feeling a lot better all the time. And honestly, just pecking away at that wall and eventually getting through it, it felt great. It felt accomplishing. It gave me confidence in who I am. And honestly, sometimes you hit that wall that you can't overcome, and you have to push through. Because you can't let it stop you. If you let it stop you, you're only holding yourself back and selling yourself short. So, NJ, what's the time when you hit a wall, and how did you overcome it?
Oh, that's been most recent, and one that your younger viewers may not relate to, but it's the high-tech world that we live in. And me being an elderly lady, wouldn't really want to admit that high-tech was over my head, but forced into the situation of not being able to communicate with the world without knowing how to use a computer. So, could not update anything, could not see the emails, could not understand why everyone was saying refer to our website for all the answers you need. We'll be happy to talk to you, go to the chat room, none of which I understood. So I said, well, I'll just have to handle all of this by phone. So making phone calls, getting into the loop of all of the different choices they give you.
Yeah.
So I still would not admit to the fact that I've got to learn how to do this. I've just got to learn how to do this. Go to the computer, look at it. Nope, not ready for that. I'm not going to admit that I don't want to do this. The whole world is high tech. I must join in. Well, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. Well, after 2 months of tomorrow is another day, I hit the wall. Writing the letters, holding on the phone, listening to the music play on the phone. That was the day. I said, I have got to give in. I have got to learn how to do this, and I will do it. I will have to make some calls, get somebody in here to help me or to give me some lessons. So I accepted the fact that this is exactly what I needed to do. Once you accept it, then the crash into the wall didn't seem to be that big. Okay, I can't do this, I need help. I had to admit that, which I didn't want to do. So I made some calls and got someone to agree to come into my home and to help me, and said it wouldn't take very long, it's very simple, and I can help you get through this. So, once I admitted that and picked up the phone and made the call, took the initiative that without doing this, I was not going to be able to move on to some other goals, that had to be met. So, also, have come to learn that you are a computer whiz, so to speak, and have agreed to give me some personal tips and some personal help. I'm even further into my comfort zone about I can do this. So that is a good accomplishment, and all you people out there listening, it is not over your head. You can learn to do this no matter how far behind you think you are. There are so many people out there willing to help you if you just take the time to ask. You will get a positive response and be very happy, not have to hit that high-tech wall again.
Yeah, and it's about not having, all you can do is try. Sometimes there will be people who don't want to help you, but you can't let that negativity get you down. You just have to push through and overcome any obstacle you face, because you are capable. You can do it. You just have to put in the hard work and the time to overcome it. wanted to talk about is giving up on yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself. Like for me, for example, a year ago, I was sitting at my job at seafood department in my local grocery store, and I was thinking, this is it. I honestly don't feel like I can go anywhere. I feel trapped. I feel like this is it. I'm just gonna give up on myself. I'm gonna give in. I'm gonna accept this. I'm gonna work retail the rest of my life, and I'm gonna hate myself for it. And over time, I started to realize I don't need to be here. I can fight my way out of this. I can start putting plans in motion. I can try and work on a way that maybe eventually I will be able to escape. I'll be able to get out and do what I want to do. And that's what gave me the idea to start this YouTube channel, is kind of just start working towards something and striving to better myself. I realized I had nothing going for me. I was like, if I died today, what would I leave behind? Nothing. I'm just some retail guy who wears orange all the time when I'm not here. And I wanted to make something of myself, to strive to be better. And honestly, I couldn't give up on myself. And I'm still nervous, and on camera, I'm still nervous on all of it. I'm working to step out of my comfort zone and get better at it. And I'm very negative when I'm editing my views, when I'm editing my videos, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Why would you do this? But honestly, you can't be that way. You have to think positive. You know, last week we talked about having a positive perspective. Think positively. Fight through it, and eventually you will find the happiness you're searching for. So, Aunt Jay, when is a time, despite wanting to give up, you fought through and accomplished your goals?
Yes, well, many times, but one sticks out in my mind that has really helped me in so many other ways is, again, the fear of taking on something you've never done before and have to do it on your own, and have the fear of a simple thing like, can I find the directions? Can I find my way to the business? I might get lost. Okay, well, if you do, you can pull over and ask somebody where you need to turn, where you need to go. So it's initially getting over the fear of not being able to find your way. Of most recent, a simple task. I got to go to the DMV, take care of some business. Oh, well, I've never done any business at the DMV. I'm confused. What do I do? What do I need to take? What do I say? Okay, well, I better calm down, take a step back, call them up, find out what I need to do, find out what I need to bring, and look at a map and find my way there. Very simple, not being high tech. Okay, find directions, go on your phone, go on your computer, print a map, do this, do that. Okay, one step at a time. Let me find my way there, get an address, find out what I need to take with me, go and just see how I can handle this on my own. I didn't have great expectations for that DMV visit, not ever having had to deal with it and hearing all the horror stories you do about going to the DMV, the long lines, waiting, then you get up there, you don't have this, this isn't right, that isn't right. So I did proceed to the DMV, found my way. Needless to say, I had been very close to that location many times, but again, not realizing that initially because the panic sets in. Fear of the unknown. Do not have fear of the unknown. Take a step back, figure it out, and then proceed. So upon arriving, everything seemed to be very joyous. A long line, of course, but call my turn, go to the window. I was very excited that I had arrived and found my way there, had all the right papers, laid them all out, really didn't know what they were for or what I would have to do, but someone is always available to guide you through what you don't know. Don't worry about what you don't know. There's a lot of things you do know, so you just have to capitalize and think about, okay, I know this. I know a car. I know how to drive. I know what it means to turn in the plates. I know what it means to sign your name here. So all this is going to work out fine. But not having ever done it before, set you in a frame of mind that you are incapable, that you can't handle a situation when it's something very simple about taking a trip to a destination you've never been to, don't know how to get there, and probably won't know what to do when you do arrive. But it all works out. So just take a step back, think about it, and give yourself credit for being able to handle a difficult situation.
Yeah, it's about overcoming your fears. And sometimes you'll be afraid of doing something that others have no problem with, but you are your own person. We all have our own individual struggles, and we all have to fight them every day. It's about pushing through and not giving up on ourselves, and always achieving what we want to achieve because we know we can do it. About having that confidence to defeat our insecurities and always push forward and not let anything hold us back.
Yes, and the next time around in a similar situation, you will not have the fear. Everything will work smoothly, and you will be able to say, I can handle this with no problem. Where just several weeks or a month prior, you had yourself all upset, for no good reason. So it's just take the time to think it through and sit down and say to yourself, I can handle this. And exactly what happened to me can happen to you. A good outcome at the DMV.
That's a rare one. Yeah. Just remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. Don't be afraid to try something. Don't be the person to hold you back, because only you can hold yourself back. Having the right perspective and not selling yourself short allows you to overcome almost any obstacle life can throw at you, and you can make the best of any situation. And honestly, hard work and dedication, plus those two, is, in my opinion, the key to success. If you're not holding yourself back, and you have a positive outlook as you go, you work hard to it, and you give it the time it needs to flourish and bloom like a flower, and blossom and grow into this amazing, beautiful thing, you can do anything. So, Anjay, what do you think the secret to success is in life?
Secret to success, most definitely, is hard work. You will be rewarded for your success based on the time and hours and sincerity you're willing to put in to it. That will always, always say what the end result will be. And it's always a lot of hard work, and sometimes you're going to get negative responses. Sometimes you set the goal, it doesn't work out the way you want it, and maybe you have to reset those goals. Sometimes you make them too high, too much to handle, and you have to admit that it's not a realistic goal. The goal has to be realistic.
Yeah.
If it's a business, you have to say, okay, what's realistic? How much money can I make? How many hours am I willing to work a week? And if you say, oh, I can work 120 hours this week, and I can make X amount of dollars more, that's not realistic if you're only accustomed to working, say, 40 or 60 hours a week. So you didn't reach your goal that week. You sit back and you say, oh, I wonder what happened. Well, you were unrealistic to start with. So sit down, regroup, and say, okay, instead of working 40 to 60 hours, I'm going to set my goal and say, I will work at least 50. Anything over 50 is going to be just a little more I can expect in return. But 50 is a realistic goal. So many times we set our goals that are not realistic. So you have to be honest with yourself in setting the goals and what you can accomplish. Not your friend, not your coworker, not someone else, but it's up to you to think it through and make sure that the goal is realistic for you and not for what someone else might expect your goals to be. Because everyone will say, oh yeah, I know she could do better, he could do better, she could work harder, she could work longer, this didn't go right. Other people will set their goals and what they can handle and what they feel is realistic for them. Don't let them set your goals. You need to be in charge of that. You need to take control of that.
Yeah, I agree. You can only do what you can do, and honestly, people are going to say what they're going to say, and you can't let it get you down. And that moves me on to what I wanted to talk about next, is that no matter what others say, don't give up on yourself unless you honestly believe you have to. And honestly, you should never believe that. You can always manage to persevere. There's always something at your disposal that will allow you to push through and win. Like, take me for example. I was playing my Final Fantasy XIV online game, and we were starting a guild. And we had 20 people, and me, my brother, and our leader we started running around recruiting. We were determined we were going to be the best guild on the server, which honestly seems way out of this world as far as realism goes and how real we could aim for. So what we did is we just went out. We went out to the in-game towns and stuff, and we started inviting people, talking to people, engaging them. And people would tell me to screw off. They'd say, "Why are you even wasting your time?" Or "Why would I join you? You're not the type of person I hang out with," and just constantly putting me down and discouraging me from achieving what I wanted to achieve. And so I just kept pushing through. No matter what other people said, I didn't care because I was still growing. I wasn't alone in it. It's important to bring others into it with you sometimes, because the more people you have to help, the more motivation you'll have to finish it, and the more you can spread out your workload and get it done effectively. So no matter what others say, don't let it get you down. So yeah, Jay, was there ever a time when others tried to get you down and you still pushed through and you didn't care what they had to say?
Yes, many times in my career and in personal situations, I was told, "Oh, you're in over your head. You don't have any training in that. You've never done that before. I have a real estate background, but I'd hear, "Oh, you've never handled a transaction like that." Well, there's always a first time, and if you don't take it on and try and learn, you will never know about it. So it was a lot, mostly in work situations where I was faced with others, peers, people who've been around longer than me, had more years experience, would say, "You better hand that off to someone else. I think you're being over your head." And that was always more encouragement for me than discouragement, because then it was the more I wanted to do it, the more I wanted to take it on, and the more I convinced myself I can handle this. And not only can I handle it, I can handle it very well. And I'd say most all of those situations, without exception, that is exactly what the outcome was. That I took it on even though others felt I was in over my head. I personally knew I was in over my head, but I would find my way through to get the right results. My customers and clients were happy. I was happy. And without trying to do something that you've never done before, don't shy away and feel you're in over your head. Just jump in, and other people will be there to help you. Like Andrew said, all you have to do is reach out. There are so many good people that are very happy and very willing to guide you and to help you through difficult situations. So whether it's business, personal, a work environment, you have to be able to come to grips with you're not going to be able to handle every situation. And that's why you have coworkers. That's why you have bosses. That's why you have supervisors. They're all there to help you when you need it. You just have to reach out your hand and say, "I need your help now. Can you guide me, or can you give me some information that will help me?" And you will be so surprised, how positive people will be. And in most all cases, they're as happy as you are that you came to them and asked them for help. Where you're going into it, "Oh no, I can't bother that person," or "They don't want to be bothered with a trivial situation that I have here. But you also give them an opportunity to share their expertise with you, and they're always very happy to do that. So don't hesitate to ask for help. That will get you through many difficult situations and many difficult days in your life if you're just not afraid.
Yeah, you just have to face it. Even if you are scared, face it courageously. Look at it and say, you know, that's a wall in front of me, and it's quite intimidating. But I'm going to go right through it because I know I can. One step at a time. And pace yourself. Don't go running at it. Take one step, and eventually you'll walk right through that wall, and you'll be surprised at the outcome. And another thing is, once you honestly don't sell yourself short, once you believe in yourself, you have that confidence, and you don't have your insecurities holding you back anymore. Yes, they're going to be there. They're always there. We all have them. But honestly, overcoming them is part of what makes us strong, independent people, is we always take one step forward and move through our problems. So like, once you can do that, you can then aim for the top. Like for me, my goal is to inspire others to be themselves no matter what. And every video I make is in an attempt to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I like this guy. He tells me that, hey, I can do anything. I am an awesome, amazing person. I like his message. I like shining bright and living a phoenix tale. That is me. I try to reach out and inspire as many people as possible. That is my aim. My goal is to reach out and encourage the entire world to be themselves and not spread negativity. And honestly, we all can shine bright and live in a positive environment at that point. And that's my aim. I aim for that because I honestly believe I can do it one step at a time if I just apply myself, give it enough time, and put in a lot of hard work. So, Aunt Jay, what kinds of dreams or goals have you had in the past, and how did you achieve them?
Yes, well, going way back to beginning of work careers, you start that first job, and it's entry level, and you're thinking, oh, will I ever get any better? Will I ever get a promotion? Will I ever be the boss? And you work through that by learning from other people. That's the best teacher when you're starting out, no matter what. You've learned from other people, I'm sure, in your new venture here with your own YouTube. And that is the very same thing in a career, in your personal life, in difficult situations, that you know that you can learn from other people and not close the world out because you don't want to speak up, because you're not an outgoing person. You have to be open to other people and other ideas if you want to meet your goals. And always set a goal a little bit higher, not out of expectations of reality. But, you know, if you're starting at the bottom in a job, just say, well, next year it's promotion time. I want to be on the top of the list. Encourage yourself that you can be and that you will be. If you're negative and say, oh, I'll never have a chance. These other three people are years ahead of me. They know more. They've worked longer. They're smarter. You can't go into a goal setting situation thinking those things. You just got to say, I'm as good as they are. I can be the best. And I will be, and next year I will be getting that promotion. So it's a lot of talking to yourself and talking your way through things, and that's okay, because the ultimate is to reach your goal, and it's one step at a time as you move on, you know, in life from an early career or an early entry into a new business. You can't conquer the world in a day, in a week, or sometimes not even in a year. And you may get passed over for that promotion, but that's okay. You don't fall to pieces. You say, well, I'll just have to try a little harder, be a little better, and hope that the next time around I'm at the top of the list. But you can't get negative that it was all your fault, you did something wrong. It's pushing through, moving on. I'll do better on my next video for you. I'll have better information for you. And you always, go back and review and think, oh, I could have did that better, could have said that better. I could have explained that better.
Yeah.
But if you did the best you could do at the time, and that's all you can ask for, is to give it your best the first time around. If it didn't work, stay with it. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel just because somebody had a negative comment or I didn't get as many followers or viewers as I wanted to. Okay, what am I going to do about that? Well, I have to think harder, work harder, do a little bit better, and next week it'll be all good.
Learning from your mistakes.
Yes,
And growing.
you
from
most definitely have to learn from mistakes, and the only way to do that is to jump in and do the best you can. And it's not always going to be the right way the first time around, but you will learn and get such experience from making mistakes. So don't be afraid to mess up and to make mistakes.
Exactly. And also never give up when you make them. Yeah. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now there's two types when you hit the notification. There's personalized, and that'll be on occasion, and then there's all, which every time we post a video, you'll be notified. In the comments, I'd love to hear words of encouragement. So when some of us are feeling down, maybe we can go and see it in the comments and be like, I like that. That inspires me. That's great. And honestly, I would love to hear that. I post every day on social media. I keep up with the topics. With each week is a new topic, and honestly, I encourage you guys to participate in answering that. You can even go back to some old posts and answer them. The more participation, the better. The more we can come together and become stronger as a community. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links are going to be in the description below. I'm Sparkmaster Neon, and as always, shine bright and live a phoenix tale.